So I want to share a couple of stories that I've gone through involving racism and bigotry. When I was 15 in high school, there was this guy who, whenever I crossed him in the hallway, he would say, "Hey, what's going on, Hindu?" So, and he said it this way, Hindu. So he did that multiple times, or many, many months. I was in the marching band, so I didn't have any friends. I stayed pretty far away from this guy, and I was really, really worried that he kept calling me this, but I didn't say anything. So then one day something happened, a kind of a trigger event that really changed my life because I wanted to stand up to the bully. So I was sitting with my marching band friends at our lunch table, which is of course pretty secluded at the backside of the cafeteria. So this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey Hindu, where are your wives? Hey Hindu, where are your wives?" So this bothered me for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm not Hindu, so that's one thing that I didn't expect him to know that. The second thing that bothered me was, Hinduism doesn't really have a historical tradition of polygamy. So I figured, okay, maybe he just didn't get the memo. And then the third thing that really bothered me is that I was actually 15. I can't marry one woman, let alone multiple women. So I decided to stand up. I said, okay, I'm going to say something to the bully. I'm going to put him in his place. And I swear to you, this is the response I said. I swear, I can't make this up. "Hey man, where's your soap? You gotta take a bath." And one thing I really want to clarify is the guy didn't smell it all. But this is the only thing that came out of my mouth. "Hey man, where's the soap? You gotta take a bath." So all my friends, my marching band friends, they disappeared. I was left alone staring at this guy who was much bigger than I was, and I'm 15-year-old, kind of goofy looking. So I waited for his response. It was the 15 longest seconds of my life. And his response was, "Ha ha ha, Hindu, you're pretty funny, Hindu." So I walked away. For the rest of the school year, whenever I saw him, he'd be like, "What's up, Hindu? I got my soap, Hindu. What's going on?" So me and him struck up this pretty good friendship over the last couple of years of school. So another story I want to share with you guys is what's it like to be an attorney down in Virginia. I'm an attorney. I practice down in Virginia. I'm sorry. So being in Virginia is a kind of a fun place for me because not many people look like me. So the other day, opposing counsel in a really kind of contentious case. This is a case that was really, really serious. She came up to me and was like, "Sarabjeet, you've been really great to work with throughout this entire case." I was like, "Wow, thanks a lot." She had 30 years experience. I was like, "Wow, this is great." But then she said something that kind of irked me a little bit. She said, "Sarabjeet, the reason why you're so great to work with is because you know what? Your English is so good. You only have a little bit of an accent. You only kind of sound like Apu from The Simpsons." Well, I thought it was kind of funny. So, of course, what do you say to this? "Thank you, I appreciate it. I've been working on my English for a while. I finally got to a point where I can practice and speak in front of people." But then I became really insecure. I'm like, "Oh my God, where do I have this kind of accent from?" So then I overcompensated in Virginia. So I picked up a Southern accent. So I was like, "How y'all doing today? I'm mighty fine. I'm mighty fine." So I created this facade that I was a Southerner for a while, and this was all shattered. However, when I went to the clerk's office and I had to file a motion, so I went to go file the motion, and I said, "How are you doing today? It's a mighty fine day today." And the clerk, however, didn't greet me as I thought she would, as what I expected. She decided to greet me with a. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. But she did it 4 times. I did it again. With her eyes closed, and I kept bending over. I was like, man, what's going on? I just want to file my motion. There's a line behind me, and she kept doing this. And I was like, all right, I guess I got to reciprocate. So I did it. Please file my damn motion. So The last incident I want to talk about, and this is where my insecurities have kind of reached its pinnacle, is when I ride the metro. So, everyone here has ridden the metro before. It's unpleasant for everyone, I'm sure. Very crowded, sweaty. But it's unpleasant for me for a different reason. When I get onto the metro, I start off in Franconia, Springfield in Virginia. No one will actually sit next to me for some reason. I'll sit down, and the whole entire train will fill up. And then I'll be this one seat will be next to me during rush hour, and people are really tired, and this is Washington. And, for a while, this really bothered me, because I find myself to be very pleasant to be around. And I was like, man, no one's sitting next to me. I didn't mean it to make anyone sad. So I decided to do something. I decided to, do an experiment. I said, okay, I'm going to do something that's going to go viral. It's going to change the lives of Sikhs all across the Washington, D.C. metro area. So before every metro ride, I chewed a bunch of gum with any kind of gum with crystals in it, whatever. I did all that kind of gum. I would spray myself with cologne, lots of cologne, and you could smell me like a mile away. I would make sure not to carry anything heavy, like no heavy book bags or anything, because I figured they're thinking I'm going to blow them up. So if I don't carry anything, it's going to be a little bit better for them. And then the last thing I did, it's kind of serious, is I bought the book Eat, Pray, Love. I busted it out. I didn't actually read it. I just holding it out. And my thought process was, man, if I hold out Eat, Pray, Love, I'll be so friendly. Someone will want to sit. I smell good, and I'm actually pretty skinny, so I don't take up much space when I sit down. So it's like an exit class, like on a plane. It's so pleasurable to sit next to me. But unfortunately, no one sat next to me. It was terrible. I was so depressed. I was like, man, I tried for weeks, and I still had this problem. Occasionally this cultured person would sit next to me, but it was very rare. And then something happened that kind of changed everything for me, and changed how I think of racism. So then one day I got on the train, and I saw a Sikh guy kind of in the distance, and he had a seat next to him. But guess what? I got nervous. I was like, I'm not sitting next to that guy. I sat in the back of the train. So I realized I'm not better than anyone else. I got something wrong in my brain. I can't just sit next to Sikh guys. So anyway, that's all I got.